Yin today is all about creating space. So wherever you can, feel that chest expand, feel the back and sides of the ribs expand with it. Feel the tips of the fingers reaching. Really create a nice open heart. Being able to receive any energy that comes your way. Being able to be more open to receiving and giving kindness to others as well. Get your nice comfy space, jumper on, socks on, lights down, music on. We'll need some cushions today. Blocks as well are always handy in our yin sessions. Okay, let's start to slow down. We're going to start in our child's pose today. Wide legs or knees together, whatever you fancy. Walk the hands down, forehead down. Settle the hips down to the heels. Reaching the fingertips further forward. Feel the ribs expand to the side and to the back, all the way to the ceiling. On your next inhale, start to walk both hands over to the right side, stretching through the left side of the body, keeping that left hip down towards your heel, trying to keep those shoulders square to the mat. For a deeper stretch, take that left hand onto the right wrist. And keep crawling those hands further around to the right when you feel like you've got a little bit more space available to you. Releasing your arms, trying not to hold them up here. Allowing them to sink down to the ground. Taking your chest with them, and in turn taking the hips further down to the heels. Inhale, slowly come back through center. Starting to walk the hands over to the left side now. Stretching through the right side of the body. Thinking about a long line from the tips of the fingers all the way to the outside of that right hip. The right hip sinking further down to the heels. Taking that deeper stretch if you want, right hand onto your left wrist. Releasing any of that hold in your arms, allowing them to be fully supported by the floor. Reaching a little bit further with those fingers. Taking the fingers a tiny bit further over to the left if you've created any extra space. Inhale, slowly take those hands back to the front. Keeping your eyes closed if you want, start to walk the hands towards the knees. Swinging over onto one hip, taking the feet all the way around so you can come into a comfortable seated position. Sitting onto your cushions if that's what you need. Feeling our breath really expanding here, taking the hands out straight in front of us. On your inhale, take your hands behind, drawing your shoulder blades together, drawing those hands as far away from each other as possible, taking the gaze ever so slightly up. Exhale, draw your hands together in front of you, tuck the chin to your chest, pull the belly button towards your spine, really arch this back. Inhale, take the hands away from one another again, draw the shoulder blades together, gaze up. Exhale, draw the hands together, tuck that chin. Take those inhales and exhales in your own time. Really reaching your fullest expression at the end of each breath. Take 2 more rounds here. At the end of the second round, place your right hand down to the ground, left hand up and over. Big inhale, taking that left hand over to the right side, stretching through the left side of the body. Exhale, left hand comes down. Inhale all the way up and over. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale. On this next inhale, stay where you are, reaching the left hand further over to the right, feeling that left sit bone ground to the floor. Taking this right hand further out to the side if you want a deeper stretch, or bending through this elbow. Keeping the left shoulder rolling away from your face to keep a nice open chest. Next, exhale all the way up and over, switching onto the other side. Left hand down, right hand up. Inhale. Exhale down. Inhale up and over. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more big inhale, stay here. Take that left hand further out to the side if you want to take a deeper stretch. Remembering to ground down through that right sit bone, keeping your right shoulder rolling away from your face to keep that space in your chest. Bending through this left elbow if you want to take that stretch a little bit deeper. Inhale all the way back up to seated. Interlacing the hands now and taking them behind our head, just where our head and our neck meet. Similar move to earlier with our cat-cow. So inhale, taking the shoulders, roll them down the back, shoulder blades drawing together, elbows rolling out, far away from one another, gaze up. Exhale, drop the chin to the chest, draw the elbows towards one another. Inhale, elbows away, gaze up. Exhale down, really squeeze all of the air from your belly. Inhale up. Exhale. Inhale. One more, allowing this breath to feel even more fluid and the movements to feel more fluid. Coming back to neutral. Coming into a seated twist, taking our left hand to the outside of our right thigh, just above our knee. Taking the right hand behind us. Big inhale, lift the crown to the sky. Exhale, think about the left ribcage spinning round to the right. Repeat that pattern. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. Find a little pocket of area that you can continue taking that breath into, even though you might feel a bit constricted in this twist. Couple more rounds of breath here. Slowly exhale, keeping your left hand where it is. Taking the right hand, crossing it over the left. Reaching hold of the outside of the left thigh just above the knee again. And dropping your head down so you're tucking your chin towards your chest. Feeling heavy here. Allowing your arms to be soft. Feeling that stretch all down the back of the neck, reaching all the way to the tailbone. Every exhale, feel your head get heavier. Inhale, slowly roll the head up, keeping your right hand where it is, coming into that twist again. So inhale, lift. Exhale, place the left hand behind you. Start to take that right rib cage round to the left. Inhale for lengthen, exhale for twist. Finding that pocket of space that you did before to keep that breath deep and calm. Final inhale here. Exhale, super slowly take the left hand back round, this time we're crossing it over the right. Exactly the same, grabbing hold of the outside of that right thigh. Exhale, dropping the chin towards the chest. Allowing those arms to be soft. Releasing the tension that's building up in your jaw to allow your head to feel heavier, not being held up by that neck in any way. Final big inhale. Exhale. Roll all the way up. Coming into a deer pose now. So facing the back of the mat. Taking our right leg in front of us. Thinking about our right hip being in line with our right knee. Our right knee is pointing straight to the back of the mat. And our right knee and our right ankle are in line in a 90 degrees angle with our right foot flexed. And then our left leg is exactly the same but behind. So 90 degrees with our left hip, our left knee straight out to the side, and then down from the knee, straight down is our left ankle, our foot is also flexed. Now what may occur here is that the front leg, your right leg in this case, you may be starting to sway over to the right side because you've got tightness in the hip, which most people do. So cushions here placed underneath that front hip is going to help you just lift up so that your body can come back to center rather than feeling like you're wobbling over to that front leg side, to the right leg side. So start to get your setup so you're comfortable here, so you can stay here. As soon as you're comfortable, start to close down the eyes. Resting your hands wherever they're comfortable. Allowing your body to start to feel more and more upright as those hips start to warm up. Working our hips in full range of movement here, so internally and externally rotating. If you want to and you have got a cushion spare and you're feeling comfortable, you can place something in front of you so that you can start to relax forward. Trying to keep this back hip grounded as much to the floor as possible rather than picking it off of the ground to enable you to fold. This is going to stretch the front hip even more. Allowing yourself to feel heavier and heavier here. Feeling more comfortable with these hips opening in such a position. Using the power of your breath to enable that relaxation. Final inhale here. Exhale. Really slowly come all the way back up if you're lying down. Grab a couple of cushions, bring them with you. We're starting to turn around to face the side of the mat now. Swinging our knees up to the ceiling. Taking the sole of our left foot to the inside of the right thigh. Taking our right leg out in a diagonal line away from our body. Thinking about this right knee drawing down to the ground. Grabbing these cushions to place in front of you. To start to fold all the way over, feeling nice and supported here. Get yourself fully comfortable in a position that allows you to continue drawing that right hip to the ground. The same as before, dropping that head, letting the arms fall to wherever is naturally comfortable for them. And with real purpose on the exhales, give permission to your body to let go. It doesn't need to hold on to any areas to protect them. You're fully protected from these cushions supporting you. If that bent leg, the outside of the hip feels like it's just a little bit out of your reach with the stretch, by all means, take that heel slightly further away from the groin, coming into a less extreme stretch. Final inhale, exhale. Slowly crawl your hands back in, start to rise, head being the last thing to come up. Keeping the cushions close by, taking the knees both up to the sky again, coming onto the other side. So we're starting to bend through. This left leg is coming in front for our deer pose. Right leg behind us, both at 90 degrees, left hip, knee is straight to the front, foot is out to the side, left foot flexed, right hip and the knee is pointing out to the side of the mat, and the ankle is straight down, both at 90 degrees. Now both sides could be completely different. Remember that cushion is there for you if you need to put it under that front hip, so that you don't sway too far over to the left side. Trying to keep the torso nice and upright as much as possible. Closing down the eyes if they're not already. Calming the breath. Allowing the space we're creating to be replicated in those hips. If you want to start taking the hands forward and starting to fold over that front leg, absolutely do so. Take those cushions with you. Hanging the head still, trying to ground through that back hip. Still breathing here. Try to identify if one side feels different to the other. If you do have a more dominant side or a stronger side, is it that side that feels tighter? Just so you can become more and more aware of your body and how it works and how it reacts. Final inhale, exhale. Inhale, take those hands back up. Take the cushions with you, coming back round to the side of the mat, knees come all the way up. Taking the right sole of the foot now to the inner left thigh, taking the left thigh out long diagonally. Again, remember you can absolutely take that right foot away from the groin for a less deeper stretch. Grabbing those cushions, placing them under the chest, wherever is going to feel nice and supportive. When you're ready to start to fold all the way over, coming all the way down, head hanging, arms resting wherever they feel like they need to. And trying to keep grounding through that left extended hip, feeling heavy. Head feeling heavier and heavier to the ground. Final inhale, exhale. Hands start to walk into center. Take any movements you need because we're now coming into the wide leg fold. So taking that right leg out to the side as well. When you feel ready, start to hang the head all the way over again, feeling supported by those cushions. Arms hanging down to the side. Feeling all of those muscles and ligaments start to open. with every breath. Getting deep into those layers. Feeling that breath continue to inhale all the way down that back body. On your exhale, allowing your muscles to relax, taking away that fighting and fully accepting that we're here right now. Final inhale, exhale. Inhale, really slowly come all the way up. Being really gentle to our legs. Hands to the outside of our thighs, pulling the knees up. Giving our knees a big squeeze towards our chest. Taking any movements you feel like you need. Before we come all the way back down, lying onto our backs, legs out wide, hands away from the body, palms facing up. Notice how your back and your legs are feeling, especially after being bent over and after being stretched out. Allow the shoulders to roll away from the face and down the back, drawing that space between your ears and your shoulders further away from one another. Feet falling out to the sides. Hips and lower back feeling heavy, sinking further into the ground, feeling nice and supported. Noticing now that the belly has space to rise and fall. Consciously exhaling the tension behind your eyes, tightness in your jaw and your shoulders. Slowly coming into a big stretch, taking the feet together, hands out long behind you. reaching the fingers and toes as far away from each other. When you're ready, rolling all the way over to lying onto your stomach. Coming into a Sphinx pose, but with one of our legs lifted up. So take the forearms onto the ground, palms facing straight down, and take your left knee drawer up towards your rib cage, coming into that 90-degree angle with our foot again. Absolutely, if you want to support this chest, take the cushions underneath your chest. And you can always take one underneath your forehead as well, so you don't even have to prop yourself up on those forearms. Final inhale here. Exhale, take that left leg to meet the right. Take the cushions away from underneath you. Fully lie down, resting onto one cheek, resting the arms wherever they feel comfortable, down by your sides or by your face. Allowing your lower back to release. Starting to prop yourself back up again, either coming into the Sphinx with the forearms down or taking those cushions underneath your chest to prop you up. Taking that right leg out to the side and starting to sink that body down to those cushions. Allow the pelvis to feel really heavy into the ground here. Opening up through the inside of that right inner thigh. An ever so gentle back bend. Feeling that sense of deep relaxation, almost on the cuff of sleepiness, but allowing yourself to stay just ever so conscious, keeping with the breath, identifying how your body feels, to keep the mind in the present. Final inhale, exhale. Take those cushions away from underneath you. Take that right leg back to meet the left. Resting down onto the other cheek, hands back to wherever they feel comfortable. Allowing that lower back to just reset. Allowing those heels to fall out to the side. Breathing so deeply that the force of the belly into the ground ensures that your chest and ribs expand to the sides and all the way up towards the ceiling. Starting to move the forehead so it's back down onto the ground. Hands underneath the shoulders. Really slowly push up to your all fours. We're coming into our full frog now, so we've done a lot of opening of the inner hips and the outer hips. Grab your cushions, we're going to be placing those underneath our chest. From your all fours, start to take your knees further out to the side of the mat and continue going, taking them down and taking your groin down with them, making sure that your legs are at the 90-degree angles and your knee and your hips stay in line. Take the pillows, cushions underneath that chest, underneath the abdomen, to keep you nice and supported here. Even take them underneath the inner of the thighs. And start to grow all the way, fully supported into those cushions when you feel ready. Being mindful that you're not taking that chest further forward, and you're keeping the alignment of your hips and knees. Resting your forehead down to your hands or onto a cushion. We've used our breath a lot today already. Really hold on to it. You're going to need it here to try and walk away from that fight or flight that your body might be already starting to react to. Nice, calm, deep breaths. Reduce those cortisol levels, the stress hormone, allowing us to find stillness in a situation that is pushing us. Remember, the exhales are there to get rid of any excess tension, allowing yourself to feel heavy, grounded, fully supportive of whatever position we're in. See if you can inch those knees ever so slightly further out to the sides. If you do start to feel that space coming to you. Final inhale here. Exhale. Now don't rush to get out of this pose. Slowly place your hands under your shoulders, using those to force yourself back into your all fours, ever so slowly inching your legs in towards one another. Taking your knees together, toes together. Coming down to a closed knees child pose, taking your hips down to your heels, walking your hands forward, sinking your head all the way down. Feeling this complete contrast of our hips drawing in towards one another rather than away. On your next inhale, slowly crawl the hands forward, coming all the way down to lying onto our bellies again. Taking our arms out into our goalpost arms, so elbows straight out from the shoulders, hands straight out from the elbows, palms flat onto the ground in a 90-degree angle. Forehead to the ground. Coming to the tippy fingers of the left hand, lifting up the left leg, spinning this left leg over to the right, resting onto your right ear. Opening up through the front of that right chest and bicep. Allowing that left leg to hang in the air. Or coming down to the ground if you do have the space. Exhale, forehead back down, take that left leg all the way back to meet the right. Switching over to the other side, left hand down, tippy fingers of the right hand, right foot up. Spinning over to the left, resting onto your left ear. One side could be much more open than the other, so you might be able to get that foot down on one side rather than the other. Exhale, slowly return all the way back down to your belly. Rest here for a moment. And when you feel ready, start to roll all the way over onto your back, nice and slowly. Starting to close down the eyes if they aren't already. Taking our right leg up for our half happy baby, grabbing hold of the outside of the right leg or the calf or the hamstring, flexing the right toes, taking the sole of the foot, driving it to the sky, drawing the armpit closer to the knee, drawing your knee closer to the armpit, taking it just to the side of the chest, drawing the shoulder down to the ground, breathing here. Exhale, switching over to the other side, nice and slowly, bending up the left leg, grabbing hold of the outside of that left foot, flexing the foot, driving the sole of the foot to the sky, knee towards the armpit, just outside the chest. Feeling the whole of the back body completely contacted to the ground, feeling heavy and still here. Final inhale. Exhale, slowly release, coming into our Shavasana. Take any movements you need. Turn off the lights. Feet out as wide as the mat, hands away from the body, palms facing up. Closing down the eyes if they aren't already. Coming into a quick body scan. Checking in with each area from the top of the head all the way down to the toes. And giving yourself permission to relax each area with every exhale. Coming into that heaviness, feeling grounded. Your body feeling open to the ceiling. Shoulders rolling away from your face. If you can take more time in Shavasana, please do. If not, start to wiggle your toes, wiggling your fingers. Taking that movement up to the wrists and ankles, to the knees and to the hips. Big stretch, fingers out behind you, toes as far away from the fingers as possible. Bending up the knees. Rolling over to whatever side feels comfortable, using that bicep as a pillow. And super slowly push all the way up to seated. Keeping the eyes closed. Resting your hands onto the thighs, palms facing up. Feeling the difference here in our bodies now that we're upright. Inhaling, shoulders lifting up to the ears. Exhaling, falling away. Know that any of those poses, that breath is there for you throughout the day whenever you just need to take a time out, even if it's just 5 minutes. Take your hands to heart center, bow the head, thumbs to the third eye. Expressing my gratitude to everybody practicing. Thank you so much. Express gratitude to yourself for showing up, to giving yourself this time out that everybody so desperately needs, but we rarely give it to ourselves. Allow that feeling to wash through your body. Taking some big inhales and sighs if that's what you feel like you need. Coming to the end of our practice. When you're ready, take the hands back down to the thighs and start to blink the eyes open.